TCI Channel 63 presents the TCI Sports High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Tonight from Clawson High School, it's the Troy Athens Redhawks taking on the Clawson Trojans. Hello everyone, Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson here at Clawson High School for the kickoff of our 1994 season of basketball. Joe, a matchup here record-wise that would tell you that it's not really going to be a great game.
You wouldn't think so. Clawson coming in at 3-1, ranked 8th in the state in Class B. On the other hand, Athens 1-4, although they've lost some very close games. Clawson comes in with a much bigger lineup led by 6'8" John Jansen, an all-stater and an all-state football player as well. Athens is going to have to counter that with a lot of pressing and trying to use as much quickness as they can, otherwise it's going to be a long night. But both teams are coming off the long Christmas break. You can be flat, you can be a little out of shape, and a lot of times that'll favor the underdog.
Okay, so they don't match up that well, but it could be an interesting contest. We'll be back with a tip-off right after these messages. Stay with us.
Oakland Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63.
The TCI Sports High School Game of the Week. As our game starts here, our season starts of the 1994 season here at Clawson High School. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson, and here are your starting lineups. Supel, Schiller, Stroinski, Schiffer, and Bagdasarian for Athens. It'll be Fry, Parche, Jansen, Babich, and Shavinsky for the Clawson Trojans.
And again, we mentioned the big height difference. You got Jansen at 6'8". There's a couple 6'4" guys for Clawson. Athens' tallest guy is 6'3". And they're going to go with, I believe, Stroinski jumping at center, who used to be a point guard, and already see the height difference.
And the Trojans come out first. Dishing inside, and Clawson scores first to number 45, Shavinsky. Colin Shavinsky with the first two.
Now, what we saw there was something that Coach Maloney talked to us about before the game, that sometimes you have to use Jansen as a decoy, and there he pulled him outside the three-point line, and that opened up the lane for other players.
Good hustle on both sides in the early going here. Athens will try to put the pressure on immediately. Half court now. Kind of a loose press put on. Clawson, as Joe mentioned in the open, had some size. Clawson will inbound now.
And there you see Jansen triple teamed on that inbound.
Parche underneath to John Jansen for two.
Well, if it's going to be that easy for him, it will be a long night.
Clawson up 4-0 in the early going, and they turn it over. The Redhawks turn it over. Jansen is fouled.
And he's not happy about missing the layup. See him punching the wall. Probably wanted to dunk it, and there he got fouled. And very good defensive play there, make him earn the points at the line.
John Jansen, one of the strong tight ends in the league in football. There you see John Kroll, head coach for the Troy Athens Redhawks.
Right, Jansen, tight end and a linebacker. I believe he was all-state as a linebacker, but more or less because you could put him in either position, you know, good at either thing. He's going to be playing football for University of Michigan next year. There you see John Maloney. Second year as a head coach here at Clawson.
And Jansen misses the first, but makes the second for his third point, and makes it a 5-0 Clawson lead. Redhawks 1-4 on the season, but they've had some close games. On those 4 losses, 3 of them were very close to Troy
I believe Andover.
Berkeley and Andover.
And all three of those, they could have won in the final minute.
And Troy and Berkeley, always strong teams. As we hear another foul underneath. This one going against Athens.
And one of the things, when you've got the quicker team and you're playing the bigger team, one of the things you try to do with running it is wearing them out. And this is a smaller gym floor than most places, and that will take away, I think, some of the edge that Athens could have had.
Parche back around the perimeter. Here for 3 points from outside was Fry. Fry gets his rebound, puts it up, won't go. Rebound Schiller, and they get it down quickly. And that's what the Redhawks want to do, is run the ball. They put it down, and they'll go to the line.
And Fry did do a good job of following his shot, but that enabled the man that was guarding him to get out on the break. And there you can see him get the pass inside to number 22, Schiffer. And he got the shot to go. So he's now looking to convert the three-point play from the angle we're sitting at. It's not the usual angle, and you can't tell at that end of the court whether or not the ball's in or not.
That's Schiffer with the first 2 points for the Redhawks. And doesn't make the free throw, so the score stays at 5-2. Parche brings it down quickly, looking in the middle, and then threw it off the referee. Supple now will take it in himself. Misses, but the follow-up is good by number 24, Schiller. And it's a 5-4 game, down to 1 point now. Press put on now by the Redhawks. This is what they wanted to do. John Kroll said, we've got to put pressure on them and play a fast-paced game.
I think the term was press all over the floor.
There's a foul over the back.
Traveled first.
Well, they call it traveling. Let's see.
There was a foul, but before the foul, he shuffled his feet. Right there, he never bothered to use the dribble. All he had to do was put the ball down, he would have got the foul.
So Sheminsky did not get it to go his way. And now Ryan Supple working against Parche. Back out up top to Bagdasarian in the paint, puts it up and in.
Gets the shooter's roll.
And the lead now for the Redhawks, 6-5.
Right now, that press is making Clawson work a lot harder.
Pressure put on, ball almost stolen there by Supple. Outside, Clawson has some open men in the perimeter, and now finding the man open underneath. And Pete Babich scores.
Yeah, there's a lot of congestion inside, and I don't think the Clawson guys on that play were actually where they were supposed to be. Jansen was a little too close to the passer, but it worked out as they were able to get underneath and get a layup anyway.
There's Parche up ahead, a little too close for the pass, and intercepting it was Schiffer.
Yeah, once again, they're not spacing themselves right.
From the corner, won't go. Jansen with the rebound, he comes down quickly. Jansen. And Clawson is playing right into the hands of the Redhawks as they are playing a fast-paced style of basketball. Really, you'd want to see him slow it down and set up.
Yeah, Matt Schiffer, who might be 6'2", just blocked Jansen.
He just had a foul underneath on Athens.
Yeah, coming after the rebound off the missed shot. But right now, even though the score has Clawson in the lead by 1, you've got to be impressed by Athens' effort.
The foul on Stroinski. Number 44 checking in now for Clawson, number 25, Dave Whitelam.
Should mention, too, both these teams not completely healthy. You know, a couple of sicknesses, a couple of turned ankles, and things that happened actually in practice over the break for both teams.
Jansen in the corner. Mismatch there. Parche right down the middle and passing off to Sheminsky, and a foul.
Well, yeah, the play's there every time, and that time they got it to Sheminsky, and they seem to be getting fouled almost every time they go underneath. And what's going to happen very soon is Clawson's going to be in the bonus for the rest of the half.
A lot of fouls early here, and we're in the first quarter.
You know, fortunately for Athens, they do have a deep team. They're going to go 9 or 10 deep probably, so they can pull guys out before they get in any serious foul trouble. But still, you don't want to have any of your top starters getting 2 or 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Sheminsky misses the first. And misses the second, but he gets his rebound. Puts it up, and an offensive foul. It would have counted, but he charged one of the Redhawks.
Bagdasarian just set himself up, planted in the lane. You'll see it right here. He's waiting for him. Moved into him a little bit, but you know, in the ref's judgment, that's his spot in the lane. Sometimes a ref might say he was too far underneath, but the guy was coming across the lane, not.
The basket will not count. Traveling called underneath on Supple. Ryan Supple does not get the 2.
Yeah, it was a nice play, but.
Yeah. So it stays 7-6. Clawson leads by 1. And the press continues here on Clawson. Parche makes a move in the corner. Open is Babbage. Back out and trying to drive is Parche. Whitelam now. Back to Parche and back to Babbage in the corner. Won't go. Rebound strong by Szymanski again. And Szymanski gets his 4th point down.
Szymanski, who I don't think is usually a starter, I think he's filling in for Gardner today, Chris Gardner, but he's been getting rebounds in there so far. He's definitely got more rebounds than Jansen so far tonight. Which actually, if you think about it, it's going to free Jansen up in the second half. He'll be a lot more rested.
Here's a foul on Clawson, a push from behind, and it looks like Bagdasarian will go to the line. No, they'll take it out underneath. Let's see. No, shooting foul.
That foul's on Szymanski.
There it is.
I don't see where, well, I guess maybe it was him that hit him, but.
From behind, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of them that we saw.
Somebody hit him, but I wasn't sure it was him.
Yeah, that was one of the plays that we had a good angle from where we're sitting.
That's true. Very rare that that's going to happen, too.
Bagdasarian puts his 3rd point down. And we'll get one more shot here. There we see John Maloney, head coach of the Trojans. And he hits them both. And it's now a 1-point game again. Full court press put on by the Red Hawks again, and they break it. Clawson now looks for help. Jansen down the baseline, rolls up. Jansen tips it in.
Great effort by Jansen. He made a great no-look pass. And the minute the defense rotated to cover, he was there for the tip-in.
For 3, the shot taken by Schiller did not count, and now substitutions come in for Clawson.
Yeah, that ball bounded over the backboard and hit the pole on the support.
Checking in, number 12, Brad Fry comes back in. Jansen over to Fry. Fry inside. Gardner turning around, won't go. Gardner in the game now. He had a injured back, and I don't think he's quite 100% yet. Red Hawks popping from outside. Stroinski to center for 2.
Stroinski, a former point guard, though. The reason he's playing center is just because he's the tallest guy out there. So he does have perimeter skills, and he showed them right there.
Clawson having a little trouble getting across half court. Now they do. Whitelam back to Fry. Fry from outside. It's good. What did they give him?
That was 3.
A 3-pointer for Brad Fry. His first 2 points. 3 points now. And now Fry takes it down again for Clawson. Inside to Jansen. Double team. In the paint. Puts it up. In and out. Rebound taken by Stroinski.
Forced a little bit of a jump hook there, but he had pressure coming from both ends on the defense. And every player out there for Athens is aware of Jansen at all times.
Now Athens working the perimeter. Trying to get something to open up. Not too much movement. Now they start moving. From the baseline. Short. Taken by Schiller, and here comes Clawson again. Clawson leads 14-10. From outside, Fry hit one earlier. Won't go this time. Rebound taken by Supple. Supple brings it up quickly. And now we'll set up. For 3, in and out. Stroinski couldn't hit, and here comes Clawson back down.
Now Gardner, normally a starter coming in off the bench today, got that rebound, and Jansen not able to hold on that time. One of the things I've noticed with Jansen too, he's done it's so far been pretty smart on his part. When there's a rebound to a guy that's in front of him, he tries to tip over him, but he doesn't bang into him too close. He almost goes out of his way to make sure he doesn't knock him, because he knows officials will always call that over the back even if you don't touch him. And with his height advantage and his reach, doesn't really have to get that close to just tip it to a teammate, and that's kind of been what he's doing.
You see the clock, and that's left here in the first quarter at Clawson High School. It's the Red Hawks against the Trojans. In the corner, Bagdasarian now baseline drive, puts it up and in. Good movement by Vahan Bagdasarian for his 6th point and leads all scorers.
Got that press working again.
Working for the last shot. Here come the Trojans now. You can see the clock at 5. From outside, in and out. The shot no good by Gardner. The Red Hawks fall short too. A very exciting first quarter here, Joe. We've seen both teams back and forth, really, and the problem, though, for Clawson, as we see John Maloney, is that they're playing the Red Hawks game. They may get tired by the fourth quarter.
Oh, absolutely, and the only thing that, again, we mentioned this briefly, is that it's a short floor, and it's kind of keeping them a little bit in it, but they are having to work real hard to get the ball up the floor, and that press is going to take its toll in the 3rd and 4th quarters. But, yeah, if you'd said, if you told Athens, hey, you could be down 2 at the end of the first quarter, I'm sure they'd have taken that in a minute.
Don't forget to tune in next week when we'll see the Adams Highlanders versus the Rochester Falcons. That's next week on the Game of the Week, Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on Channel 63.
Also, we
continue our 94 season.
We finally do a Rochester-Adams game.
Yes.
Not the football game.
There we see John Kroll and his Red Hawks staying in here. They came in with a 1-4 record, but very close, playing against some really tough schools. Troy and Berkeley and Andover. Troy and Berkeley really always powerhouses in basketball.
Yeah, and Andover, an underrated team. They're very young, but they've got one of the better young coaches in Oakland County. And last year they had a down year because they were all juniors and sophomores. The year before, they were, I think, ranked in like 5th or 6th in the county. Had a winning record. So that's it's teams that match up, and they're teams that try to run a lot too.
Clawson almost coming up with a steal there is Babbage, but it goes off his hands. And now the Red Hawks to inbound. Shot taken. Here comes Clawson now as the Red Hawks come back empty-handed.
Once again, they're just having to work for everything they get, and it's right now the difference is John Jansen, because it's either him doing what he did there, taking it to the hole and getting a hoop, or bringing it out and bringing a double and triple team and opening it up for other people.
Ball goes out, and the Red Hawks will get it. 16-12, we are in the second quarter here at Clawson High School. And a very fast-paced game. Very quick first quarter.
Yeah, I noticed that. Not a lot of free throws, that helped.
Red Hawks taking their time, and that's more of a Clawson style.
That's goaltending. It's a good call.
Goaltending.
Went off the glass and he blocked it after the foul. It's still goaltending.
So it'll be good. And that's Schmalzell, Mike Schmalzell for Athens. And he comes in off the bench to score 2.
And not a good play there with the goaltend. The foul had already been committed. And all of a sudden, Athens can bring it to a 1-point game if they make this free throw.
Checking in is Jim Parche, and going back out is Gardner. Or correction, Shiminski. Jansen on the rebound. Schmalzell could not hit on the free throw. And it's a 2-point game. 16-14, Clawson leads. Jansen back out Babbage. That's been his shot. Can't get it though. And inside, a great grab by Pogue. Eric Pogue pulls it in for the Red Hawks, and they could tie it here.
Yeah, and that was the play that had been working for Clawson all night so far. Jansen going down low to a teammate, and that time Athens was there to defend it.
Ball goes out. Athens comes out empty-handed again, and the Trojans will get it back. And they maintain their lead at 2 points.
Actually, when you think about, it's a 2-point lead for Clawson, the number of opportunities Athens has actually had, they probably ought to be winning the game.
Inside, Jansen to Gardner. Gardner travels. That's the second time the Trojans have been called on that.
You get excited. You get down there with just one guy on you. You try to do that pump fake, but when you're doing it with your back to the basket, you still have to turn, and that's what he did, and shuffled his feet.
6:10 left in the first half. Inside, the basket is good. And the Redhawks coming up strong. Number 22, Matt Schiffer, will go to the line.
Schiffer's got a chance to give them the lead all of a sudden as it's tied at 16. The foul there on number 12, Brad Fry. That's his second foul. Mentioned earlier by both teams, you don't want to get any of your starters with 2 or 3 fouls in the first half or both the time in the first quarter, but really you want to keep them down to 2 in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point lead for Athens.
Schiffer makes his free throw, and now the press seems to be working for the Redhawks. So far, they have battled tough and stayed with this big Clawson team. Harshay from outside. Won't go, but Jansen's there to tip it in.
There's really nothing you can do. If you don't box him out, he's going to make that shot every time.
All the way, won't go. As Storinsky tried to take it in, and the Trojans come back. 1-point game, 18-17. Clawson leads. Stolen here. Schmalzell shows some quickness, puts it up and in.
So you made a great play on that was Matt Schiffer. Jansen looked like he was going to catch up and block it. Schiffer just walked in front of him, and there's nothing Jansen could do. He would have fouled him if he'd gotten him out of the way. And once again, a travel.
A travel, and the Redhawks will get it back now. They are up by 1. Mike Schmalzell's been out with an ankle injury, and he has really been a spark plug here in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's done a very good job taking control of the team right now, getting the ball to the right players, and making the defensive plays when he has to.
He has it now, passes off to Storinsky. Storinsky back up top to Schiffer. And now Schmalzell. From outside for 3. No. Rebound Parshay. He pushes it up quickly and will try to make something happen. From outside, Fry. Inside, Babbage. And now Jansen from outside. Nothing but red under the net, though, for the rebound. Schmalzell for 3. It's off. Jansen. Rebound. Parshay travels. Just couldn't hang on to the pass. He wanted to put it on the floor, but missed the handle on that one.
He's about 5 travels on Clawson right now.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, all that noise you're hearing in this small gym is from the Athens crowd right now.
Yeah, what's that you say?
Yeah.
I can barely hear myself. It is really loud. Small gym, really loud in here. And now another substitution coming in is number 24, Schiller. And having a seat is Schiffer.
A lot of names that we recognize from a couple of football games we did this year.
Yep. A lot of football players out there for the Redhawks. Schmalzell exchanging passes with Schiller. Inside and through the hands of Storinsky, but managed to get over to another Redhawk. And Jansen easily blocks Bagdasarian's shot.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if you're down low against Jansen, you don't think about making that layup. The only thing you're thinking about is getting a foul, and if you're going to do that, you're going to pump fake a couple of times.
That ball just took off so quick, you didn't even get a chance to see the block.
Yeah, he's not going to make that shot. The best thing there is try to get Jansen in foul trouble.
From outside, 4-3. It's good.
Well, that's not a bad way to go.
Ryan Schiller with the three-pointer makes it 22-18, and that's the biggest lead we've seen so far by either team.
And every time farther this goes into the game, the more Athens will believe in themselves.
Jansen with the turnaround jumper for another 2.
Of course, it does help to have a go-to guy to get you right back.
The steal by Brad Fry, and now he'll slow it down for the Trojans. 22-20, 2-point game. Inside and knocked away from outside. Whiteman, no. Rebound, working hard for it. is Farrell, Adam Farrell, but it went out, and Athens will get it back.
Well, I think even the Athens guys would admit that so far every bounce of the ball has gone their way. Every time it tips off somebody, it's been off of a Clawson player, and it's always been the right call, but they are getting every bounce so far.
Redhawks working the perimeter. They have some outside shooters. Now they'll try to go inside. Ball gets knocked around and picked up by Skorinsky, the center. Bagdasarian trying to drive baseline. He made one earlier, and now we've got a foul call on Farrell. Adam Farrell, number 22 for Clawson.
And Bagdasarian was taking it right at Jansen again. I guess I hope that he's thinking about fouls there, because he's not going to get the shot over this guy.
And there's the
foul happened beforehand.
Yep. Checking back in is Matt Schiffer. Going out is number 40, Eric Pogue.
Of course, you know, if you do take it inside on Jansen, if you can get him to overplay you, then you can go weak side to a guy cutting and get a layup. But you definitely aren't going to make the shot over.
Small cell. Looking around. Schiffer now up top in the middle. Skorinsky over Jansen. Short. Jansen with the rebound. A chance for Clawson to tie it up now. 2:25 and counting down here in the first half at Clawson High School. And what a contest it has been. As we said, they don't match up very well, but hey, look at this. Brad Fry with his second three-pointer, and it's a one-point game. Clawson leads.
Yeah.
We talked about the mismatches that turned out to be an exciting contest.
Oh, yeah.
From outside.
Come right back with that.
Schiller with his second three-pointer.
I think Schiller might have said something to the Clawson bench after that, too.
There's Babbage. Baseline, Farrell can't get it, and a foul underneath. Looks like it's going against Clawson.
Yeah, I wonder who.
Looks like it was number 25 on Clawson, Whitelam.
Yeah, battle for the ball here.
Over the top.
Yeah, probably could have let that go as an out-of-bounds play, really, but they're already in the penalty. So Athens is at the line shooting 1-1.
Athens leads by 2, 25-23.
Gets the first and makes the second one here, and it'll be right back to that 4-point lead that they had a couple minutes ago.
Checking back in, number 44 for the Trojans, Gardner. And going out is number 22, Adam Farrell. So Schiller hits them both. And he becomes the leading scorer for the Redhawks now. Clawson having to face that press all game long, and a nice pass underneath and a great execution there by Whitelam to Chris Gardner.
Great play by Whitelam, and Gardner, 6'4", also taller than anybody Athens has, been able to get inside himself for some layups.
Inside, Bagdasarian for 2.
There's how you do it. If you get behind Jansen on the pass, you can get the layup. You can't drive to the hole on him. That time they were able to get him out to commit to the jump shot. And that was, once again, the ball keeps every bounce.
Yep, off.
It was a good call, too, right in front of us.
Yep, right in front of us, and we saw it. It was off the foot of Chris Gardner, and the Redhawks get it back. 29-25, they lead going into the last minute here in the second quarter.
They might hold for the last shot.
They can do it. They've got a minute to hang on to that ball, though, and you wonder if Clawson can come up with a steal by then.
Well, Clawson wants to be careful on that because they're already in the bonus, and if they foul him going for the steal, they're back at the free throw line. And it's pretty apparent that
they're going to let
they're
him
going to
take
hold on, I think.
Clock winding down. They're taking their time. Looks like they might have taken a shot. They do. Ball goes out of bounds in favor, again, of the Redhawks. They're getting that bounce, Joe.
Yeah, well, that time it was just a clean block and out of bounds. I was surprised he went for a jump shot that soon with 27 seconds left. You can still try to get a layup like they are right there, and once again, Jansen's there to block it.
And here come the Trojans now for the last shot.
Yeah, and they'll almost certainly hang on till about 6 or 5 seconds.
working the perimeter.
If I'm Athens, I got a foul, I think they have a foul to give. I'd come out and hack somebody right now.
Can do it. Fry, he's hit on some three-pointers. Jansen in the paint, puts it up, won't go, and that's how we'll end it here in the first half. And an exciting first half of basketball here at Clawson High School. 29-25 the score. And in talking at the beginning of the game, you talk about possibly some mismatches, and the coaches kind of optimistic, but really they're talking about their injuries pretty much, and really they weren't sure what they were going to see.
I don't think either coach really expected to have the lead in this game.
Yeah.
John Maloney, everybody else expected Clawson to come in here with a blowout, and John Maloney, we even tried off the record, come on, what do you think? He said, I really don't know what we're going to do. And I don't think he's surprised at all that this happened. He might be disappointed, but he knew this was a possibility. And right now he's going to have to convince these guys at halftime they've got to come out and play up to their ability and beat somebody. You can't just show up and win. And you got to convince them, too, that it's important enough to want to win.
So the fast-paced pressure of the Red Hawks defense, and they're pushing the ball offensively as well, is paying off for them as they have a 4-point lead here at halftime. And that's the score. 29-25 here at halftime. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay with us.
If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports. McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video, tonight at 9 on Channel 63.
TCI Sports Game of the Week here at Clawson High School. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson here, and the Troy Athens Redhawks lead by 4, 29-25. Here are some of the stats for you at halftime.
Obviously, the difference in the game is the free throw line.
Yep, that's it. Field goal percentage about the same, and the free throw percentage really the telling tale there. Turnovers 8-5. Clawson has turned the ball over 3 times more.
And how many of those turnovers were traveling calls?
Yeah. Turnaround by Jansen, no good. Inside the foul, and it looks like it's on Bagdasarian.
That'll put Szymanski at the line as he was going up with the putback.
Let's take a look underneath.
Right there, you see him crash the boards.
Either one, Bagdasarian or...
Yeah, they went with Shalair on that one. That's his first foul.
So Szymanski at the line. Puts it down. 0 for 2 at the line in the first half.
Got the friendly roll on that one.
Yeah, wants to make some corrections here, and he does. Gets them both. And Clawson scores the first 2 here in the second half. And cuts it down to 2 again. 29-27 in favor of the Red Hawks. Bagdasarian back out up top to Supel. Supel. Now Schiffer. Stroinski taking it against Jansen himself from outside. It's good for 3.
Well, Stroinski did a great job there, and again, he's a center right now. He's a former point guard, and he brought the defense to him, and that left a wide-open three-point shot. There wasn't anybody within 5 feet of Shalair on that shot.
And Shalair has 3 3-pointers now. Here's a traveling call, and again, another traveling call on Clawson. It's been a tough habit for them to break.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a high school team travel this much.
Maybe the refs are looking for it.
And of course, if this is the NBA, none of that would get called, so maybe they're just preparing for
they can get away with that when they're in the NBA.
Yeah.
32-27 the score now. 7 minutes left in the third quarter, and a steal by Jansen and stolen right back by Stroinski. tough battle here between these two teams.
Oh, great
Back
pass.
and forth. Inside, no, and a traveling call against the Red Hawks.
You know, basically what's happening is the officials are not going for these pump fakes where guys are forcing a foul to happen, which, you know, anybody who's ever played, you do that all the time. You force a foul. They're not letting that happen, and when you do that, they're calling a travel on you.
Yeah. Jansen almost loses it. And Parche now. In the middle. Sheminsky passing up to Jansen off the foot of a Red Hawk. And Clawson will get it back.
Yeah, Jansen, a couple times on this trip, having a little trouble holding on to the ball. A little strange for a tight end, but maybe he needs a different shaped ball.
A little quieter starting out the second half than the first half. A lot of noise in that first half. From outside for three by Babbage. It was short. Supple working on Parche. Schiller now. Schiller in the paint. Dishes off to Stroinski. It's good.
Boy, they didn't call the foul there.
Yeah, it looked like a foul on the
I thought
shot.
Babbage nailed him.
Athens putting the pressure on full court. Parche over to Fry. And the Red Hawks close to a steal, but the Trojans get it over half court. Jansen back out to Babbage. He was on the line for two. No. Jansen saves it, but no, he's on the line.
Yeah, I think he dribbled it out. I don't think his feet ever touched out of bounds, but as the official never called anything until the ball hit the ground.
Yeah. Thought he might have saved it.
But again, we don't know because we're at the other end.
Clock at 5:30 left here in the third quarter. Inside to Magnus. He was just trapped and hammered him there, and a foul called on Sheminsky. He doesn't agree.
Yeah, he's not happy about it. That's an aggressive foul. You know, you really can't be upset about it. Let's see what happens here.
He's sandwiched in here. Watch Jansen come in from behind.
Well, you know, he really didn't move, and that is a case like I was talking about a minute ago where you force a foul to happen, but that's his fourth foul.
So he goes out, and Gardner comes in.
And that, I'll tell you right now, they're down 8 points, and Sheminsky has done a great job today of taking a little bit of the inside pressure off of Jansen, both offensively and defensively, and with him out of the game, it's going to be up to Gardner to make up for it. If he were to get in foul trouble, I think Clawson would be in a lot of trouble.
Bagdasarian misses the. Did he make the first? I was listening to.
Yeah, he made the first
I was
one.
enthralled in what you were
thank
saying.
you. I mean, it's nice to have that effect on somebody. But once again, we see Bagdasarian try to go inside on Jansen, and every time he does that, Jansen adds to the block shot total.
35-27. This is the biggest lead for Athens, and they can this
Biggest
one.
lead for anybody.
Stroinski with two. The Trojans have only retaliated with 2 points. That was from the free throw
He
line.
just stepped out of bounds, or they call. Oh, wow.
Well, they call the Red Hawks with the foul.
Schiller's a little upset, not mad upset, but I think just a little surprised. He didn't really do anything other than maybe put a little hip into him, but forced him to step out of bounds. That was Babbage with the ball. And I think it's one of those things where the official really didn't want to call the turnover in that case, so he called a foul.
Big 10-point lead now for the Red Hawks. Gardner over the top.
And Gardner's going to have to do that. You've got Sheminsky on the bench with 4 fouls. He's going to have to come up big now.
Pass goes astray, and here come the Trojans, and a foul from behind Bagdasarian.
That was more just an incidental foul. You have to call it once again. Another Athens player, I believe it was Schiller, went for the steal, causing Babbage to change his direction. And right here you're going to see, as he goes for the steal, he changes his directions, and Bagdasarian just happened to run into him. And you have to call the foul because it changed the progress of the play.
Inside, Gardner, turnaround, won't go. Jansen steals it away inside and puts it down.
Now, Babbage got away with going over the back that time. And maybe the breaks are going to start going Clawson's way. They haven't really gotten any breaks yet tonight.
And the Trojans have got to come back now after being down by 10. They've cut it to 6, 37-31 now. Stroinski down in the corner, and now back out up top. Supple Cross court to Struinsky. Baseline, in and out. Jansen with the rebound. Here come the Trojans. Jansen behind the back. Over to Gardner. Back to Jansen.
Yeah, you get the feeling Jansen's a little ticked right now. And a lot of times, when you got a player of that ability, you know, when you're down, he's got to take over.
And he gets a foul call on him right now, a little too aggressive.
Yep.
But they cut it to 4, 37-33 with 4:02 left here in the third quarter.
It's only his first foul. There have been a couple times where they could have called it on him and they didn't. You know, it's just the nature, too. A lot of times teams will, when they have a player like that, sometimes they'll back off figuring he's going to do just this. You know, we don't have to worry. John will take care of us. He'll win us the game. Doesn't always work that way, but in his mind, he probably feels he can do it if he has to.
Yep, and here he comes down with a rebound on the missed shot by Schiller. Pass, and it goes down, it'll count, and we'll go to the line.
If I was Athens, I'd call timeout real quick.
Brad Fry and the Trojans have come back from a 10-point deficit.
That's an 8-0 run right now. And I'd call timeout right now and get everybody, just remind them what it was you did that got you this big lead.
Brad Fry puts down 2 to cut it to 2. It's 37-35 with 3:44 left here in the third quarter. An exciting contest nonetheless. We've seen some mistakes, some traveling, but this has to be one of the most exciting games that we've covered. Let's go down to the huddle.
And we don't give up cheap baskets. We cannot give up cheap baskets. This is where comebacks get screwed up because somebody doesn't clock out. You got to get every free ball. Just like last year. You can't give up a cheap one. If they score any offensive, you can just make a couple passes, and then penetrate the seams, and then we're gone. But you can post up a little bit better in the middle. Once we get to this end, fellas, we're fine. The other thing is this. Hey, this is the end to take a breather at. There's the end you got to spend the energy at. Okay? Let's go this time. Next time defensively, we're 12. Okay, keep them in the track.
John Maloney excited, getting his team back into it, and you'll be excited this month on the Road Show video program as Bubba and Pat head up to Brown City, Michigan. A very exciting city, a lot of things to do, and they found one thing to do in particular, and that's experience life on the farm. And that's going to be tonight here on the Road Show video program. Up next, 9 o'clock, right here on TCI 63. Sort of like their version of Green Acres.
Oh, wow. Road Show Acres.
Without Mr. Ziffel or Arnold.
With the Beavis and Butthead video, right?
Oh, there we go, yes. Inside, Pete Babbage gets his first 2 points since the first quarter.
That's a 4-point trip down the floor and a 10-0 run, and suddenly it's a tie game.
All tied up, 37 apiece. This goes off Jansen, and the Redhawks get it back.
And you heard in that huddle, John Malone saying if you're going to rest on offense, but keep working hard on defense, and that's what's gotten them back from a 10-point deficit.
4-3, it's short. Schiller could not hit. He's had 3 3-pointers. This time it was short. And here come the Trojans to take the lead possibly after being down by 10. They work it. Jansen open, misses the slam. And the Redhawks come right back. Wow. Matt Schiffer, coast to coast for 2.
What kind of move you using the horse, too? That was
39-37, Redhawks up by 2. In the corner, short. Rebound taken by Schiller.
And Jansen hurried that shot a little bit. Might be a little frustrated after the missed dunk.
Clawson guarding closely now. Schiller open. This is for got it. Brian Schiller with his 4th 3-pointer of the night.
Yeah, you know, and we just talked about a 10-0 run by Clawson, and Athens responds with 5 straight of
And
their
a
own. Now
steal.
7.
Matt Schiffer for 2, and just like that, they get 5 points on this trip down the court, and they're still putting pressure on. Clawson finally gets it across half court. Pressure put on Babbage. In the corner, Gardner into a foul underneath.
Smart play.
A foul on Ryan Supple with the mismatch against Jansen.
Not only a mismatch, but he's got, I don't know if we'll be able to see it in the replay, but he's got Parche coming from the weak side with nobody on him. The minute
backside here.
Yeah, the minute Schiffer came over to double, that left Parche open, and we've seen already tonight, Jansen's got great court vision. He would have hit him for the easy layup, so a great foul on that time.
Parche goes off. He is yet to score tonight. Jansen, no rebound, taken by number 32, Hoff. Steph Hoff is in there now.
If I got a guy 6'8", I wouldn't have him shooting turnaround jump shots.
Nope. From outside, Schiller could not hit that one, and it was Storinsky with the rebound. Excuse me, not Storinsky, but Gardner with the rebound. Up top, Whitelam back out to Gardner. Gardner, nothing there. Back out, Whitelam in the paint, dishes up, Babbage, 2. Pete Babbage now with 6 points. 1:30 left here in the third quarter.
I hope the rest of our season is as good as this.
I'll tell you, this is a great way to start the 1994 season.
Great hustle.
Loose ball taken now by the Redhawks. And that was Schmalzell, and he works it up top.
Very smart, just brought it back out and set the offense up again.
Back to Mike Schmalzell, inside to Bagdasarian.
I'll tell you, if you got Jansen outside the three-point line, get somebody down low and post up. There you go.
Bagdasarian pushes the glass and puts it down.
And if you're going to bring the 6'8" guy up to the top of the key to play defense, the opponent's got to go down low.
Bagdasarian, for his size, has done pretty well underneath.
Yeah.
Gardner for 2.
Yeah, really, the only time Bagdasarian's had any trouble is when he's tried to go over Jansen. And, hey, anybody here's going to have trouble with that. But, you know, Jansen is not, he's not just simply camping out down low. And when he comes out like he's starting to again, he can go underneath.
Baseline drive put up by Schiffer, and it won't go. We've got a jump ball.
That'll go to Athens. That'll go to Athens. The arrow's pointing their way.
The possession goes over to Athens. And let's take a look.
They should be playing for the final shot here, too.
Schiffer with the shot. It's short. And the scramble underneath.
Bagdasarian once again scrambling to the ground. He and Babbage going for the ball. Here we got the sophomore coming in. Pete Toko. They just pulled him up from the JV. Going to see what he can do. They said he's only 6 feet tall, but he's a great inside player.
Schmalzell sets it up.
They're going to get Toko underneath. Watch this.
Yeah, nobody knows he's there.
All he has to do is come under. Right now, he's open.
Clock winding down here in the third quarter.
They're going to set this up, and no one's going to even know where he is. There it is.
Nobody's even guarding the sophomore. He's wide open. Here he goes. Couldn't put it up. Too many trees down there.
He knew he couldn't get it. Couldn't get the shot off. Give him a lot of credit. A lot of times the sophomore try to force it. His first action in varsity.
And a great job on the assist by Pete Toko. Number 30 coming in there and dishing it off to that man, Brian Schiller, who had 2 3-pointers in that quarter and just canned that last one to make it 48-41 as we head into the fourth quarter.
Once again.
If we keep them in traps, and they're in trouble. You know, they just dribble out of the trap every time. Okay, offensively, keep your boys. We're fine. That's not the problem. Okay, defensively, know who your man is at all times. We're going to be going back from man to 3 to 12. The biggest thing, we got 4 timeouts, so we can kind of pace it. We can go like 2 minutes at a time here. But now we got to come back again. Okay, we've got to get off to a good start. We got to get rebounds, and we can't play dumb. Fellas, you haven't put 5 minutes together yet. It's been like 2 minutes, and then it's been like a minute and a half. Your backs is go. Let's go. You got to play hard. Go, fellas, come on.
Don't forget to tune in to the Master Angler Show, which features the latest in fishing tips and techniques. Also guests like Babe Winkleman. They talk about their climb to the top. So for hot Michigan fishing action, catch the Master Angler Show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. And your brother, Lloyd Abramson, looking forward to getting on that show?
That's one of his big goals in life, really. I mean, that and having Van Wright call one of his long throws deep. So he'll know he's made it when both
of those things happen. And how would he say that? As we head into the fourth quarter. 48-41, the Red Hawks up, but it's been a tough game for both teams to hang on to that lead. Babbage inside, and he gets another two. Babbage has been tough inside after John Maloney has talked to him.
Got away with the travel, but great play by Babbage. And Maloney, we heard him between quarters saying, your backs are against the wall, it's time to do it. And right now, I'd have to think Athens might believe in themselves a little more than Clawson does, and it is time for Clawson to prove it, that's wrong, and that they believe in themselves.
Loose ball. Redhawks come up with a Schmalzell for two.
That's more a case of the ball just coming up into the one guy's hands and him having an easy layup.
And it's 50-43. Another loose ball. The team's playing very sloppy now. Schmalzell again. Ball will not count as they caught Schiller on the travel.
Schiller did not expect the ball there. You don't expect a chest pass from a guy 3 feet away from you, but really it was the only option that Schmalzell had. It was double covered, off of a great turnover. You can't fault anybody for this. And meantime, in the other end, see him come up with the big steal that almost set up a fast break layup.
Harshay. Back to Fry. Fry to Whitelam, and Jansen with the one-hand pass almost threw it away. Loose ball again. Bagdasarian has it. Everybody's scrambling for it, and here comes the Redhawks now to slow it down.
Well, they got Schiller open for a three if he wants it. Harshay came over, though, to get him.
Schmalzell with the steal. Here's Fry. Fry steals it. And go to the line.
If you're going to foul him there, you don't let the shot get off. That's something, you get taught that, when you're 7 years old at the YMCA. You just don't give up layups. And I think they really did try to stop that, and he forced the shot up, and it goes in. You'll see right here. Coming from behind, they do get the block, and he pretty much went for the hack, which is the smart play, and missed the ball and hit his head.
This is good. So Fry hits the extra point here.
Extra point. Didn't go for the two-point conversion.
Wasn't a gimme on Monday Night Football last night.
Didn't go for the two-point conversion, did he?
Yeah. Pass to Schiller in the corner. And he's double-teamed now back across to Schiffer. Schiller open for three. He's got it. His fifth three-pointer of the night. Brian Schiller is on fire.
In the zone, as they say.
Yep. 53-46 the score. And you got to hand it to the Redhawks. They have been pressing on defense all game long. Clawson has been battling back, trying to get that lead. Fry is short from outside. Almost gets a steal back, though. And Strulinski up ahead for Schmalzell. Puts it up and in.
Yeah. Whitelam tried to smack the ball away and hit the backboard instead, and the ball went in. Officials could call goaltending on that. If you hit the backboard and it adjusts the play of the ball, that's a goaltend. There's a foul here, and they're going to bring Jansen back in the game, probably trying to get him a little bit of a rest. But it's going to take there's 5.5 minutes left, and it might take that long to get back this 9-point deficit that they're facing.
There you see the drive by Szymanski and the foul. And he'll go to the line. Szymanski and Gardner in there. And Jansen waiting to come back in.
Szymanski playing with the 4 fouls. That foul on Strulinski, his 4th foul. If you look at the team fouls, Athens already has 7. So I believe Clawson now shoots 1 and 1 the rest of the way. Clawson's only committed 2, and could be down the line. And apparently, Jansen's going to come in for Szymanski after the free throws.
Yeah, Babbage goes in, and Harshay goes out, as you see him there. 5:29 left in the contest. Also checking in is number 40 for the Redhawks, and that's Eric Pogue. Going out is number 44, Strulinski. This is no good, so Szymanski misses both. Ball goes out of bounds, and
now Jansen will come in.
Szymanski will go out.
And I'll tell you, you mentioned earlier, Clawson ranked 8th in the state, and one of the things I'm sure that John Maloney, being a Brother Rice grad like myself, knows, rankings don't mean anything unless you go out and back it up. And as everybody who ever went to Brother Rice knows, this year they didn't back anything up in football, and right now Clawson's going to have to back up their high ranking in basketball and come up with this come-from-behind victory.
Well, they need to pull one out here as the Redhawks have continued a very close lead in the late goings.
great hustle.
Great hustle as the Redhawks get it back. Bagdasarian gets out of trouble, and now dishes off.
Well, it was Matt Schiffer that made the play, though, to get it to Bagdasarian.
Schmalzel looking for the open man.
Probably going to get to Schiller for the 3 eventually.
Schmalzel now over to Schiffer. Inside that. Go.
So about the 5th time he tried to go over Jensen, it works, and he draws the foul. At the most important time in the 4th quarter, I thought he was going to kick it out to Schiller, who was open
Wide
for the 3.
Open to the right, yeah.
Instead, he took him to the hole, dribbled on him, went up with the left and got hacked. And I've kind of been riding him all night about doing that and forcing it, and that time it actually worked, and give him a lot of credit for making the play.
Yeah, he has really impressed me. He doesn't have the size of some of the Clawson players, but he has battled tough in there. This is this one, but the Redhawks may get it back. Travel call on Szymanski.
Well, the official, I don't know if he was in the best of position to see that, but you have to have possession of the ball to travel.
He never did. It was a loose ball.
Yeah, he never had possession. Should have been a jump ball, probably.
Back to the action now. Schiller up top. Slows it down for the Redhawks.
Well, with an 11-point lead, you're going to try and take a good 30, 40 seconds off the clock on each possession if you can.
Schmalzel trying to get it to Schiffer, and he was guarded closely. Good defense put on by Clawson as they're not allowing them to do anything. Parche could have been called for a foul there. 4 minutes left in the contest. 57-46 the score. Redhawks up.
They're in a stall right now.
And why not?
Yeah, if they can do this the rest of the way, it's going to take 3 or 4 fouls to get them to the free throw line. So Clawson's, if they're going to foul, they better start. They're down 11 points, and there's 3.5 minutes left.
And there's a foul on Babbage.
Yeah, and that's only the 4th team foul, so they're not shooting yet, unless the official wants to call it intentional, which I'm sure Athens will take, because that gets you the ball back anyway.
3:40, clock stopped there in the 4th quarter, and a timeout called. Down on the court, John Kroll looking on. His team has led here most of the way in the 2nd half. Let's go down and see what he has for his team here in the final 3:40 left. And I'm sure we're going to have a few more timeouts before this is over.
Because we've got a guy down here and a guy down here. We've got 3-on-1. Every time you pass the ball here, cut real quick. When you pass it to the middle, cut real quick.
And if you're not open, come back. Now listen, we want to, if we get a layup, we want to take it. But what we're doing is fine. The more time we burn, the better. Now they got a lot of fouls to give, so you got to really protect the ball because they got nothing to lose. We're not shooting, which is good. We just keep burning the clock. Let's go.
Get him go. Get him go.
1, 2, 3. Go. Come to the ball.
Don't forget to tune in to Transition. It's a program designed to give perspective pertaining to African-American issues. Host Jeffrey Miller has conducted interviews with Louis Farrakhan, John Conyers, and Coleman Young. And Coleman won't be around much longer, but now Dennis Archer as well. Watch Transition Saturday night at 10 right here on TCI 63. And you saw John Maloney kind of push that off aside. Did you see him push the graphic aside?
Yeah, he did. That
was pretty cool.
It's very cool.
I'm waiting for you to use your Beavis and Butthead talk.
Well, you got me to do Van Earl, and that was embarrassing enough.
3:40 left in the game, 57-46 the score.
People watching going, who is this?
Redhawks lead, and the Redhawks have outscored the Trojans here in this quarter 9-5, so they have added even more to their lead. They outscored them by 3 in the 3rd quarter, 19-16.
They've still got to commit a few fouls before they can force free throws, and that's going to take time. And Athens is not going to bother shooting the ball.
And, ooh, almost a steal here.
That's a kick, and who kicked it?
That's the question. Checking in now for Clawson is number 11, Brian Fisher. Fisher goes in, and taking a seat is Szymanski. So you lose size there, but they have quickness out on the court now in Fisher. Redhawks just working the perimeter, eating up the clock. It's on their side right now. Schiffer trying to force his pass, stolen by Fisher. Fisher almost clobbered by Jansen. The ball goes out of bounds in favor of the Red Hawks.
Got run over by his own man. Athens, everything was working. Then they tried to force a layup, and that was when it fell apart for them. And Clawson, on the other hand, had a fast break, and they just, again, they had a little problem with their spacing, which we saw in the first half. They don't space themselves well on the fast break.
And you saw Jansen run over his own player. Here, inside, working it to Eric Pogue for his first 2 points.
Of course, when you do play on a smaller floor than most regulation floors, your spacing is a little bit off.
Fisher inside to Jansen. Ball taken away and stepped on the line was number 12, Schmalzell, who tried to steal it from Jansen.
Good call. Great defensive play, though.
Fry in to Parche, back out to Fisher, foul underneath. Elton on Jansen.
Boy, you know, they let him get away with a lot, and to call that, you know, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been called either way. To call that away from the ball at this time, it's kind of, I don't know.
Well, the tempers are starting to flare. I don't know if you saw some of the extra stuff that's going on in the court, but the tempers are starting to flare.
Yeah, but I don't think you call those things away from the ball like that.
Yeah. 59-46 the score, 2:33 left in the game. Time running out on Clawson. Fisher goes out. Whiteland, Parche, Babbage, Jansen, and Fry in. For Clawson.
He traveled.
Traveling on the Red Hawks.
We'll tell you this one thing. You got to remember, officials in high school, I mean, it's just something they do for the heck of it, basically. And I mean, they read the papers too, and they know big name players, and sometimes they can get caught watching. Just, you know, and a lot of times the coach has to remember to say, watch him in college, enjoy it then, but referee the game. That sometimes tends to happen, and there is the superstar call in high school, and that time Jameson didn't get it.
There's Jansen in the paint, picks it up, off the glass and in. His first 2 points in the fourth quarter. He's got to produce if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, when they were down 10, he was the one who brought him back to a tie game when he basically went 1-on-5.
And time is running down. Less than 2 minutes, you can see the clock.
Oh, nice pass.
Foul inside, offensive.
Well, he spun, one-handed it down low to Bagdasarian. Take a look as that was Schiffer spun, but as he spun, he kind of backed in, got the offensive foul. Still, it's an 11-point lead.
This Fry almost lost it. As Bagdasarian was guarded, Parche gets fouled right there by Schmalzell.
Yeah, you don't need to commit that foul. You don't. There's not really any big difference between an 11-point lead and a 13-point lead, but that foul puts them at the line and allows them to score 2 points without the clock moving.
Yep, Schmalzell goes out. That'll bring in Supple. So in there, Eric Pogue, Supple, Bagdasarian, Schiffer, and Schiller for the Red Hawks.
Now you've got Parche at the line, who I don't think, has he scored yet tonight?
Parche has not scored. Jim Parche with a chance to get on the board for the night. Misses here. Whitelam battling for it, comes up with it. Inside, Jansen. No, they're going to call him push from behind on Bagdasarian. They're calling it down there, Joe.
Yeah, now they are, you know, it's been a little inconsistent. Let's see right here, he did push him without a doubt. It's a good call.
There it is.
Almost, Jansen might wish they hadn't called it, because if they'd have called the next foul when he was shooting, he'd have 2 shots instead of going for the 1-and-1.
59-48 to score. John Jansen at the line. 6'8" senior. And he puts it down. His 3rd point here in the fourth quarter.
Obviously a good free throw shooter. That's one of the things I don't, you know, of course they've got, you know, however their game plan works with the motion offense, but if a guy's that talented and that big and can shoot free throws, I'd be posting him up every time and just send him to the line all day.
19 points now for John Jansen on the night. Bagdasarian looking for help, finally gets it into Supple, and a foul on Jansen.
That's 4 on Jansen. And you don't need, And he knows it too. I mean, he committed it, and that's what happens. But you kind of want to hang on to that foul to commit it under the basket when you're trying to play defense. Now he can't. If somebody comes underneath on him, he can't try that hard to block it, or he's gone. And if he gets out, they won't win.
Yep, 138 left in the game. 59-50 to score. 9 points separates.
And now they're shooting foul shots, I think. This is the 1-and-1.
Here we go.
But with about 4 minutes left, we pointed out there were only 2 fouls. Now there's 1:37 left, and they're finally at the line. And that's a lot of time between trying to force missed free throws.
Yep. Going to the line is number 14, Ryan Supple. Supple has yet to score 2. So you got 2 of the big guards here for each team. Not on the board. Parche and Supple. Now a chance for Supple to get on.
Of course, both of them pretty much playing the point anyway. So it's more their job to get the ball to other people, and they have. And another foul with 1 second coming off the clock.
Now this will help the Trojans.
Well, it was a fast-moving game.
It was, and I was talking to you at halftime, telling you, well, it'll slow down in the last minute.
Inevitable.
We're going to go back and forth. And here we go. At the line, Parche. And we're going back and forth with the 2 guys that have yet to get on the board, so we're giving them a chance, which is good. We mentioned Jansen with 19 points leads the way for the Trojans, and Parche gets on.
And you know what's funny? When we talked to Coach Kroll before the game, he said he's going to get about 20 points tonight. We know that. We can't let him go for too much more than that, and we've got to keep everybody else from beating us. And might just be a profit, right around 20. And pretty much kept everybody, there were other guys that had solid games. Nobody that just went crazy. In the meantime, Schiller did kind of go a little crazy for Athens.
Big bucket there for Clawson. In fact, everyone is big now. Supple brings it down quickly, double teamed, and a foul on Parche. We'll go to the line. Supple now again gets a chance to get on the board. Leading scorer for Redhawks is Schiller with 21.
I think I might want to just put the ball in his hands and make him wait. In Schiller's hands. Wait till they foul him.
So Jansen with 19 leading the way for the Trojans, and Schiller with 21 leading the Redhawks. Checking in will be Stroinski after Supple shoots.
Going with probably a height substitution there.
Supple misses again. And here come the Trojans. On the break, Fry tries for 3. No, Schiller had him. And it could have been a jump. Underneath, Babbitt. No, it will not count as a whistle is underneath. What were you going to say about Schiller from behind?
I thought he'd already dribbled before that happened. When he came from behind and made that play, I thought the other guy had already dribbled. And after he held it, if it's not a jump ball, when he dribbled again, that's a double dribble. But they didn't call it, and whatever. They're going to be shooting 2 free throws after another timeout.
A timeout now. 1:19 left in the game. 59-52 your score. Both teams with 7 fouls. And here it is underneath as the foul goes to on Babbitt. She'll go to the line. And it did not count. Next week, don't forget to tune in. The big Battle of Rochester. Rochester Adams and the Highlanders taking on the Rochester Falcons. Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. And, of course, the Roadshow video program immediately following.
Absolutely. You want to say hello to somebody who I found out watches us every now and then. Matt Dobek, Pistons PR director.
Oh, yeah?
Lives in our area, and every now and then he'll come up to me and say something about, hey, I saw you doing a game and you were talking about this, and I'll be like, why were you watching that? But so Matt, if you're out there, again, why are you watching this? But
possibly looking for prospects, kind of giving a tip to
if they're going to trade Isaiah or something, well, they're not now, but maybe they need, a point guard. Or maybe they, want you to fill in for Fred McLeod or something.
Hey.
That's you.
Hey, I'm available.
All right. We could do that.
But, of course, our priorities are here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's more money here, too, isn't there?
Really?
We're not getting it. There's more money here.
There's Pete Babbitt. Puts down his first shot.
It's a 6-point game right now. It's a 2-possession game, really, if they can hit the threes.
Anything can happen here. A lot of time on the clock. Babbitt gets them both. And it's 59-54. Foul underneath. Babich gets called for it.
They're going to commit these fouls quick, which is real smart on Clawson's part.
Well, we've seen a great contest, and now it's coming down to fouls and free throws.
And it's going to be the longest 2 minutes in the history of high school basketball.
I don't know about the history, but it's going to be pretty long.
Longest 2 minutes we've had this year in this basketball season, without a doubt. Being the first game.
Generally slows down at this point in the game, especially in a close game like this. When the coaches have to have some kind of strategy here, especially John Maloney, to try to get back into this and back into the lead. Marzell misses, a big miss.
What do you think Athens is thinking deja vu? We said 3 of their 4 losses in the last minute they could have won them, and they didn't. And all of a sudden, we're getting down to 108, and they just committed another foul. And if they make both these free throws, it's going to be a 3-point game. And suddenly, the last minute, they could lose again.
And Jansen has been very good from the line, 3 of 4.
And we mentioned earlier too, Clawson wants to show that they're worthy of being a state-ranked team. And you've got to beat teams with losing records. You can't afford to lose to them.
Here it is, into Jansen, and the foul on Bagdasarian from behind. Jansen with the free throw. It's good. And he has hit 3 clutch free throws here in this fourth quarter.
He's doing his job.
Yep. 5 points in this quarter, 20 points on the night. This one is missed, but does he come back with it? Yes.
Great effort by Jansen, and he's going to try and dig for the hole right now, but he kicks out instead.
That's a big miss here.
1-point game.
Hits it for 3, and it's a 1-point game. 59-58.
They're going to try to stall this thing all the way out.
You foul them now to give yourself a chance after this?
No, because they're nervous. You wait till there's about 20 seconds and then you foul them. Well, I guess you do foul them, okay.
Marche with the foul, and the Redhawks go to the line. It'll be Schmalzell who missed his last free throw.
I thought you might wait because you could see the Athens guys were getting real nervous, and they looked like somebody was going to travel pretty soon.
30.8 left on the clock, 59-58. Athens leads by 1.
Call the timeout, Clawson did, and even if Athens makes both, you still just got to hit a 3 to tie it. Once again, Athens has got to be sitting there thinking, here we go again.
High school basketball at its best here on TCI 63. Let's take a look. The foul on Parche, and it's a 1-point game going to the line. Will be Schmalzell. Let's go down to Maloney.
Number 2, let's get mass shot. If we get a layup, we'll take it. If we get a layup, we'll take it. If they score, we are in scramble. You are in the corner. You are in the corner. You're at the midcourt. If we don't get anything out of scramble, time out. Okay? We're going to get a possession at most to count. We do not
What a way to start the season here at Clawson High School. Next week, it gets even better. Rochester Adams against Rochester High School, Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. 1-point game. It'll be Mike Schmalzell at the line as we look at John Maloney. He's got it.
Schmalzell, who had committed a couple of fouls with about 1:40 left that he didn't need to commit, and that his coach kind of got on him about, came up real big with that free throw because he had to get the first one. You got to make it so that a layup doesn't beat you.
It's a 2-point game right now. He tried to make the 3, and he does. They've got to hit the 3 now with 30 seconds. Yep.
They might not have to hit the 3. If they can get a quick layup, they might go for that.
gave him the layup, and now a quick timeout.
Yeah, that's not bad because
Good call there by Clawson.
the odds of a team making 4 free throws in a row are not very good. Not in high school.
And this is where strategy comes in, and a good call here by John Maloney to take the 2. He's still got plenty of time, and let's go down to him again.
The worst that can happen is we foul, they make both, we still have a shot. Now, let's get a 5 here. Let's get possession. I got a timeout. Can't foul. Well, they just called it. Oh, no way. If they get enough, we're going to go after them hard. Real hard. Once they get across midcourt, then no illegal fouls, we got a foul. Okay? I don't want it to get much lower than about 10 seconds. Okay? Bench, keep track to the, for 10-second count. Yell at the official, let him know. Okay? Offense. We're just coming down, we're going to scramble, and look for the best shot, just like we go.
You saw the score. 1 point separates these two teams with 22.5 seconds left. Athens to inbound. Smallzell has it, guarded by Parche. You might want to just let him bring it down. Here's Schiller.
He hurt his ankle.
He hurt his ankle and passed it off to Storinsky.
And referees in high school will automatically whistle that. He gets to come out. You won't see that at any other level, and it's the right thing to do. He comes down funny. Watch right here. His left ankle just rolls. Ow, that hurt.
Yeah.
And the minute that happens, that was his right, and he's really hurt. But the minute they don't wait around, and that's just a dead ball, and
it looked like he came down on his left and he hurt his right. I don't understand that. Oh, he may just have a cramp. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that helps. I mean, they're going to have to inbound it again, which is not easy.
Yeah, it wasn't any kind of a bone injury. It's the muscle cramping up on him.
Yeah.
And those just hurt for a while.
I'll tell you what's impressive to me is he came down with the ball, got hurt, and didn't travel.
Yeah.
Because he was hopping all over the place, and he knew enough just to get rid of the ball. To feel that kind of pain and still be aware to give the ball to a teammate.
And Strolinski was shocked because he's right next to him and said, "What are you doing passing to me?"
Watch this. Right here, he starts to feel the pain. Look at his face. He's hurting. And before his other foot came, after he started to turn, he did get rid of the ball.
And those hurt. You ever had a cramp in your calf?
Now, he can't stay
relax
in.
it.
Schiller's been the hottest guy on the floor for them.
Yeah.
He's definitely
their leading
the guy.
scorer, 21 points.
Yeah, he's the guy they want at the line, and if he's got to come out, who do you go with?
Don't forget to tune in again next week. The battle for Rochester as Adams takes on the Falcons. The Highlanders against the Falcons next Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. right here on TCI 63. And that's always an interesting contest. We see Schiller now.
Oh, that might be more than cramp. That's kind of weird that they'd be, keeping that foot off the ground like that. Usually a cramp, they'll let you kind of walk out.
Really must be bad. He didn't come down on it, and that's the only thing I can think of, that it is a cramp. It must be a really bad cramp.
Unless he turned it going up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough about injuries, but yeah, there was nothing on the replay that showed when that could happen, and they did commit the foul. I didn't notice the foul call. I thought they just whistled it to stop for the injury, but apparently.
A big miss. Clawson has it with 10 seconds. Here's Jansen. This is off.
Wow. What an ending.
What a game, 61-60. Clawson had their chances at the end. They had about 3 shots that they took. And I was surprised on the 3-point shot that they took that from way outside.
Well, we'd heard John Maloney saying, you know, if they miss when we come down, it's just the first good open shot you've got, you take, and that was the first good open shot they had.
And Fry did make 3 3-pointers.
Yeah.
We should point out.
You know,
so he is a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I would have a guy take an open 3 over a congested 2, and he, you know, and they were able to get the weak side rebounding and actually put up 2 more shots. And really, I mean, I would never have thought, you know, if they were going to get 3 shots in that possession, I would have been sure they'd have made 1.
Well, what a way to start our season off here at Clawson High School. There you see the winning coach, John Kroll, and it could have easily gone the other way, and he knows it. Let's take a look as Jansen brings it along the side, dishes off to Fry, who takes the 3. And it was close.
Yeah, I mean, good open shot. Babbage came down with the rebound. Looked like that got blocked. Jansen went over the back. And again, that's about the 5th time he did that and didn't get called for anything. And which is good. You don't call that with a second left, but just missed the final putback with that hook shot.
And that is how it ends here at Clawson High School. An exciting contest from the beginning to the end. And we only hope that the rest of the contest will be like tonight.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, when we saw the guys that were supposed to be good, especially, you know, John Jansen came up with every big play. And twice when his team was down big numbers, he kind of took over. Not only did he elevate his game, everybody else's game elevated because of his enthusiasm and his leadership. And then just at the end, they just came a little short, but it was just a tremendous effort by both teams.
And stay tuned. The final score, 61-60. We'll be back to give you the leading scores and some final stats for you right after these messages. Stay with us.
If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports. McDonald, because Pat and Bubba take you down on the farm on the latest edition of Roadshow Video. Watch as these two city slickers travel to a working dairy farm in Brown City, Michigan, and talk to the people that make it work. So, for the best in music videos, check out the farm edition of Roadshow Video, coming up next on Channel 63.
Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson back here at Clawson High School, and the final 61-60. The Troy Athens Redhawks in an upset over the Clawson Trojans, and an exciting contest from beginning to end. Let's take a look at the final stats, Joe.
You see a field goal percentage close again. Free throws evened out as the game evened out, 1 point difference. Turnovers killed Clawson. You know, rebounds, you knew Clawson was going to kill them in that. They had all the height. Athens countered that with getting the ball, you know, coming up with the turnovers after the missed shots. You know, Clawson had a couple, or Athens, we should say, had a couple of 10-point leads. Clawson made a great effort in coming back and got 3 opportunities in the final 13 seconds, just couldn't convert them.
That's those turnovers in the early going and really throughout the game that hurt Clawson. 17 turnovers as opposed to 10.
And we don't know how many travels were in those turnovers.
Yeah, those traveling calls really hurt Clawson. And our leading scorers, before we go to scoring by quarters, goes to, for Clawson, John Jansen with 20 and Brian Schiller with 21. Here you see the scoring by quarters. Very close in the early going, 12-14 after the first quarter, 17-11 at halftime. Athens had built up a little bit of a lead, and in the third quarter, Clawson staying with them, only 3 points behind, and then the Trojans making a big comeback, trying to get back to get the victory in the fourth quarter, scoring 19-13, and that's how we ended, just 1 point shy for the Trojans of a tie, but actually putting the game into overtime. And they had their chances at the end there, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were down, I think, 10 with about 3 minutes left or something like that, and suddenly there were a couple fouls. They were able to score without the clock moving. Jansen took over, which is what he had to do, and when they double-teamed him, he didn't force anything. He got open layups for his teammates, and Athens missed that free throw with 13 seconds left, and it was a 1 point game, and they had, like we said, 3 opportunities and weren't able to convert them. But the fact is that Clawson was ranked in the state in Class B, and they're supposed to beat a 1-4 team, now a 2-4 team.
Now a 2-4 team, and the Trojans go to 3-2. Next week, don't forget to tune in. It's the Highlanders taking on the Falcons as we bring you the Battle of Rochester. Adams against Rochester, Saturday and Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in for that one. And don't forget to stay tuned for the Roadshow video program with Pat and Bubba coming up next. The final score here at Clawson High School, the Athens Redhawks 61, the Clawson Trojans 60. For Joe Abramson and for all of us here at TCI Sports, I'm Dave Zorn. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.